Hey folks, Cherry here from Sirena Surgical, and I'm coming back to check in with you with another hot topic. How are we doing today? How's everybody feeling? I'm in the office, so obviously I'm going to keep some COVID precautions today because we have people coming in and out, and it's a busy morning. We have somebody actually going into surgery today, this afternoon. It's actually one of the last surgeries before Christmas. So while the clinic is a little bit quiet today, it's also kind of like moving. So got to keep the mask on today. So excuse my mask. That's the first thing, and I'm gonna keep adjusting it, which is like retarded with these glasses. But whatever, you'll learn that I get through it. But today I wanted to talk to you guys about something that I've been seeing trending in groups, and I want to talk about all kinds of stuff I see in groups, you guys, because I see so much misinformation, and I see so many people asking their peers for information, and all the time you see people giving the wrong information. And so today, one of the things that I want to talk to you about is Lipo BBL. I am a coordinator, so I do quote for multiple doctors. And one of the things that I will tell you across the board is that most plastic surgeons, if not all, offer Lipo BBL services, some type of liposuction, liposculpture, micro air, vaser, some type of liposculpture, liposuction procedure, right? Sorry about my mask. So with that being said, most oftentimes right now, women are coming and asking for BBLs because what they want is to augment their behind. They want to make their booties bigger. They want to make them rounder. They want to add more projection, more volume, right, to their behind. And that is fine. That is, you're completely within your right to want to do that. However, there are times where women don't want a bigger butt, but they still get a BBL. And so that's what I want to talk to you about. And that's what I want to kind of tackle today is the idea of what exactly is a BBL? Why is it marketed as a BBL? What's going on? What is the nitty gritty behind a BBL? Let's get down and dirty and talk about that, okay? Because that's something that most people don't really understand. So let's talk Lipo BBL. Lipo BBLs are offered pretty much by all plastic surgeons at this point in the game, right? Because Lipo BBL is one of the most popular and most trending procedures at this point in plastic surgery. So with that being known, right, most girls submit a quote for Lipo BBL because they want to improve their hip size, they want to shrink their waist, they want to get bigger booties. And yes, Lipo BBL is a perfect way to achieve those types of results. However, I often get quotes that come across my desk where a woman will send me in pictures and she will either want liposuction and say, listen, my butt is big enough, either because naturally she's big back there, or because she's had multiple rounds or a round previous, and so she's already had some type of work done to her back there, and so she doesn't want anything else, right? All of that is fine. However, why doesn't the procedure change? So let's break down Lipo BBL into a few pieces. So the actual procedure of Lipo BBL is going to require suction, right? Liposuction, the removal, and then the BBL portion, which is the putting back or the fat transferring. And so what people really need to understand is that BBL, or the Brazilian butt lift, is a marketing term for a specific type of procedure or a specific type of result that happens after a certain type of work is done. So the Brazilian butt lift is not an actual procedure. It is the result that you get. You get a Brazilian butt lift look. You understand? You get this look that basically is going to assimilate what the Brazilian butt looks like, right? But how is that achieved? That is actually achieved by fat transfer. And so many women will say, hey, I want to have a lipo, I want to have Lipo BBL. That's perfect. Where does the fat come from for your booty? It comes from wherever we lipo, right? So that's like the simplest part of it. But then the other side of it is, what if you don't want your butt to be bigger? Let's look at this. If you already are a certain size and I automatically start sucking this out and I stop abruptly at a certain space, this is not gonna look like it matches this because we've already adjusted areas. So if you say to me, no, I just want lipo on my back. So okay, so we're gonna flatten your back out, but we're not gonna do anything here. So you're gonna stay with stuff on your sides. You can't offer somebody lipo in this area here, right? and then think that this is going to get this big and you're just going to leave this like this. You have to smooth it out, right? And so one of the things that I try to express to most of my patients that don't want more projection, or that don't want to add volume to their behinds, is that this is not necessarily made for that. Fat transfers are a beautiful opportunity. Liposuction offers you the most amazing opportunity to harvest your healthy fat and to be able to actually take your fat and put it in places that you want it. So let's say for whatever reason that you end up going through the Lipo BBL procedure and you decide, I don't really want anything else in my butt, but you have cellulite. One of the wonderful things that can be done is that the fat that's already been grafted from your body can be used to cover some of that cellulite and to give you some smoothness and to give you some definition. None of us are made perfectly. Some of us have dents. I think I'm gonna see if you can see mine. So I have a dent. I don't know if you can, yeah, there you can see it right there. So I have a dent right here and you really can't see it if you're looking at me, but I don't have it on this side. And so that's something that in my next round, see it, notice it right there, for whatever reason, in my next round, while I may not want a BBL per se, and I don't want my butt to be huge because as you see, I'm already a little person, I definitely want more definition. So while I don't want projection and I don't want to be projecting, sticking out, popping out, right? And I don't want this huge shelf booty for me because it doesn't match my legs, unfortunately. That's why. And so I want women to really be clear about, most of the time when you see Lipo BBL offered as Lipo BBL, it is a marketing tactic. Most women are looking, or most young women are looking at Lipo BBL, tummy tuck, Lipo BBL, tummy tuck, breast lift, breast augmentation with Lipo BBL. These types of combinations, booties, boobies, and bellies, it's the 3Bs. And so that's something that I definitely want to make sure that you guys understand. Also, another Snapple fact on fat transfer: fat that is harvested from your body can be used in your breasts, not necessarily to augment the size, but to fill in a defect, or to fill in, like if you have a scar, as well as here on your face or anywhere on your body, if you have some type of a scar that's sunken in, or if you have wrinkles that are starting to develop. All of that fat that's being transferred from your abdomen, from your back, from under your arms, wherever, it's yours. It's yours. It's liquid gold. You can use that wherever you want it. And so understanding that BBL is just one of the ways that that fat can be transferred, and one of the places that that can be transferred to is super important. Now, in many of my quotes, I have had people ask me, hey, I don't want a BBL. And I have to tell you that ultimately it's still the same price. Why is it still the same price? Because the real work happens in the liposuction. So understand that the BBL is almost done kind of like a favor, because we would either have to throw your fat out or put it back in you. And so getting rid of your fat is a whole process, as you can imagine, with medical waste and everything else. There's a whole process behind that. So we just take your fat and we put it right back into your body. We just put it where you want it. And so if you were to go and look up the medical terms here in the Dominican Republic and look up the procedures and the types of procedures that exist here, you will find that there are major procedures and then there are minor procedures. The major procedures are the procedures that are like liposuction, breast lifting, arm lifts, thigh lifts, back lifts, tummy tucks, muscle repair. Those are major procedures. Minor procedures, or what they call complementary procedures, would be like a BBL. Why? Because we've already entered with the liposuction, which is the major procedure. The fact that we're just adding this fat back is a completely different thing, but it's a complementary piece of it. Or that's the way they describe it medically here. So just giving you that information in terms of what that looks like and why that's listed the way it is. I don't make the rules, I just follow them, and I share the information with you so that you can be better prepared when you come. Okay? And another quick topic that I want to touch on, but I'm going to make a whole other video about it and we're going to get into it. So make sure that you stay tuned to like the listings of what I upload, because I record very sporadically and whatever comes to my head. So listen, I want to talk to you guys about the itching after liposuction. I see so many girls asking other girls on Facebook, you know, about this itching after liposuction. And let me tell you something. Some of the remedies that I'm reading are like out of control. First of all, you want to stay away from anything hot on your skin. You want to stay away from Benadryl. You're not having an allergic reaction. You don't want to be doped up all day. You don't want to be sleeping. Okay, so if you want to know how to take care of the itch after liposuction, please stay tuned. Not only that, but we're going to be talking about a lot of other things. We're going to be talking about water content and intake. We're going to be talking about exercise after surgery, particularly the first 2 weeks after surgery. We're going to talk about the importance of being mobile. We're going to talk about the importance of your massages. We're going to talk about fibrosis. We're going to be talking about so many different things. And like I said, I'm going to have a lot of downtime because Christmas is coming, and guess what? None of the surgeons are really operating. So I'm going to have a lot of time to sit back and be able to talk with you guys about whatever it is that you want. So if you have topic suggestions, or if you have anything, make sure you comment below. And if you haven't, if you're new here, make sure that you subscribe to our channel and hit the notification bell so you can stay on top of everything new that we have going on. Okay? Meanwhile, I'm gonna go. I probably will film another video, so stay tuned to our channel. Make sure you subscribe, share our content, because like I said, it really will help. It really, really will. Oh my God, I cannot believe I read this morning. Somebody told a girl to put Tiger Balm on her skin for the itch after surgery. Let me tell you something. You can burn your skin so bad. I'm so frustrated. You guys, share the content, share the content, share the content, and I will see you soon.